Scarlett O'Hara lived at Tara, a large plantation in Georgia. She was the daughter of Gerald and Ellen O'Hara. Scarlett was young, beautiful, and spoiled by her family. She loved to wear fine dresses and charm every man she met. Her green eyes shone with confidence, and her laughter was bright. Life at Tara seemed peaceful and secure. But Scarlett carried a secret in her heart. She was in love with Ashley Wilkes, a thoughtful young man from a neighboring family. Ashley was calm and gentle, very different from Scarlett's fiery spirit. She believed he would one day be hers. But Scarlett soon heard shocking news. Ashley planned to marry his cousin, Melanie Hamilton. The news crushed Scarlett's pride. She could not understand why Ashley chose Melanie, who was quiet and soft-spoken. Scarlett believed her beauty and charm were enough to win any man. She decided she would not accept defeat. At the Wilkes family barbecue, she planned to confess her feelings. She was certain she could change his mind. The day of the barbecue was filled with music, food, and dancing. Ladies in bright gowns laughed under the warm sun. Men spoke of honor, politics, and the possibility of war. Scarlett smiled and pretended to enjoy the celebration. But inside, her heart raced with jealousy. She waited impatiently for a moment alone with Ashley. Finally, Scarlett found Ashley inside a quiet room. Her hands shook, but she spoke boldly. She told him she loved him with all her heart. Ashley listened carefully, then spoke with sadness. He admitted he cared for her, but he would still marry Melanie. He explained that Melanie was loyal, gentle, and steady. Scarlett's world collapsed. Furious and heartbroken, Scarlett burst into tears. She accused Ashley of not truly loving her. Ashley left, unable to face her anger. As Scarlett cried, she realized someone had overheard everything. Rhett Butler, a wealthy and daring man, stepped out from behind a sofa. He laughed and teased Scarlett for her failed confession. She blushed with shame and rage. Scarlett stormed back to the party, her pride burning. To prove she did not care, she flirted with other men. Out of spite, she agreed to marry Charles Hamilton, Melanie's brother. The decision shocked everyone. Scarlett's heart still belonged to Ashley, but she pretended otherwise. She wanted to hurt him by marrying someone else. It was a reckless choice. Not long after the wedding, war broke out between the North and South. The Civil War swept across the land. Young men rushed to join the Confederate Army with excitement. Charles, Scarlett's new husband, also went to fight. Scarlett felt little love for him, but she acted proud. She dreamed only of Ashley's safety, not her husband's. Soon, Scarlett became a widow. Charles died of illness during the war. Tradition demanded she wear black and live quietly. She was not allowed to dance, sing, or enjoy parties. Scarlett hated the dull life of mourning. Her youth and energy were trapped. She longed for fun and laughter again. Her spirit rebelled against the rules. Scarlett's mother sent her to Atlanta to live with Melanie and her aunt. The city was busy with soldiers, ladies, and social events. Scarlett pretended to grieve, but she enjoyed the lively atmosphere. She met Rhett Butler again, who boldly teased her. Unlike other men, he saw through her games. Scarlett disliked him yet was strangely drawn to him. At a charity ball, widows were not supposed to dance. But when Rhett asked Scarlett to join him, she accepted. The crowd gasped in shock as they danced across the floor. Scarlett felt alive, smiling for the first time in months. Rhett admired her daring spirit. Their connection grew stronger, though Scarlett still dreamed of Ashley. As the war worsened, Atlanta filled with wounded soldiers. Scarlett helped at the hospital, though she hated the sight of blood. She worked beside Melanie, who remained calm and gentle. Scarlett envied her but also respected her strength. Every day, food grew scarce, and fear spread. The war was no longer a dream of glory. It was suffering and loss. One night, Melanie went into labor. The doctor was too busy with soldiers, so Scarlett had to help. She was terrified, but there was no other choice. Hours of pain filled the room until finally, a baby boy was born. Scarlett was exhausted but relieved. She realized she was stronger than she had ever believed. The moment changed her. But danger grew worse. The Union Army marched closer to Atlanta. Fires spread through the city, and explosions shook the streets. Scarlett knew they must escape immediately. She gathered Melanie, the baby, and Prissy, the servant girl. Just then, she found Rhett Butler driving a wagon. He agreed to help them leave the burning city behind. The night sky glowed red as Atlanta burned. Buildings collapsed while people screamed in terror. Scarlett held the baby tightly as the wagon raced through chaos. Rhett guided the horses with steady hands. Smoke stung their eyes, but they pressed forward. Scarlett's heart pounded with both fear and determination. She would not let death catch her. After they reached safety, Rhett made a decision. He told Scarlett he was leaving to join the Confederate Army. Scarlett begged him to stay, but he kissed her hand and rode away. Left alone, Scarlett faced the journey to Tara with Melanie weak and the baby crying. She tightened her grip on the reins. She refused to stop. The road home was long and painful. Scarlett drove the wagon through ruined fields and broken towns. Her stomach ached with hunger, and her clothes grew ragged. But she pushed forward, clinging to one thought, Tara. At last, the familiar land appeared before her eyes. But the sight was not comforting. Tara was no longer the same. Scarlett arrived at Tara and collapsed in tears. The once beautiful plantation was now broken. Her mother had died of illness, and her father had lost his mind. Her sisters were thin and weak, close to starvation. The fields lay in ruin, and soldiers had stolen what remained. Scarlett felt despair pressing on her, but she refused to surrender. She tore off her fine gowns and worked in the soil with her bare hands. She dug for vegetables, picked cotton, and searched for food. Her hands grew rough, her back ached, but she kept going. Pride no longer mattered. Her only goal was survival. She became the head of the household, stronger than anyone expected. One evening, as the sun set over the ruined land, Scarlett made a vow. She raised her fists to the sky and swore she would never go hungry again. No matter what she had to do, she would survive. Her eyes burned with fire, her spirit unbroken. That promise gave her strength. Tara would live again, through her. Life at Tara was bitter and harsh. Union soldiers often came, demanding food and searching the house. Scarlett lied and tricked them to protect her family. Sometimes she stood with a gun in trembling hands. Fear never left her heart, but she hid it well. Her courage grew from necessity. She became both fierce and clever. When Ashley returned from the war, Scarlett's heart leapt. He looked thin and defeated, no longer the strong hero she imagined. But her feelings for him did not die. She dreamed again of a future together. Ashley, however, loved Melanie with loyalty. Scarlett clung to hope, though deep inside she knew he would never be hers. A new crisis soon struck. Taxes on Tara were raised beyond what Scarlett could pay. Losing her home was unthinkable. Desperate, she traveled back to Atlanta. She wore a gown made from green curtains to appear wealthy. Her plan was to charm Rhett Butler into giving her money. With shaky pride, she entered the city prison to meet him. Rhett laughed when he saw through her disguise. He admired her courage but offered no money. Scarlett left furious and desperate. Soon after, she found another solution. Frank Kennedy, her sister Sue Ellen's fiancé, had a business. Scarlett lied to him, claiming Sue Ellen no longer wanted him. Instead, she married Frank herself to save Tara. With Frank's money, Scarlett paid the taxes on Tara. But she wanted more. She took control of his business, selling lumber and making bold choices. Many men mocked her for acting like one of them. Scarlett ignored their insults and worked harder. She drove wagons, cut deals, and grew stronger. Her ambition had no limits anymore. Scarlett stands on the porch of Tara and looks at the ruined fields. The land is broken, the crops are gone, and many workers have left. Her father, Gerald, has lost his strength and mind after the war. Ellen, her beloved mother, has died, leaving Scarlett full of sorrow. She feels the crushing weight of hunger and debt on her shoulders. Scarlett promises herself that she will never be hungry again. Scarlett becomes hard and determined, no longer the spoiled girl. She works in the fields with her own hands, digging and planting. Her sisters complain, but she forces them to help her survive. She gathers food, fights despair, and protects Tara from harm. Scarlett learns that money and land mean life in this new world. Her soft ways turn into steel, and her heart grows colder. Soon, taxes are demanded by the new rulers from the north. The tax is high, and Tara cannot pay the heavy amount. Scarlett is desperate, for losing Tara would break her soul. She thinks of Frank Kennedy, who is wealthy and has a store. Frank is promised to her sister Sue Ellen, but Scarlett is ruthless. She tricks Frank into marrying her to save Tara and her family. Scarlett uses Frank's money to pay the taxes and restore Tara. Then she moves to Atlanta with Frank, where life is busier. She takes control of Frank's store and makes clever choices. Scarlett cheats, bargains, and fights to build wealth again. She faces gossip, for people call her unfeminine and cold. But Scarlett only cares about survival and success, not manners. Scarlett soon meets Rhett Butler again in Atlanta's circles. Rhett is rich from blockade running during the war. Many dislike him, but Scarlett admires his boldness. He respects her willpower, though he also mocks her. Scarlett charms Rhett, hoping for his wealth and strength. But Rhett refuses to marry her yet, waiting for his own time. Life grows darker when Frank dies in a violent fight. He was caught in a night raid against freedmen in Atlanta. Scarlett becomes a widow for the second time, but less sad. Rhett sees his chance and asks Scarlett to marry him. She agrees, attracted to his money, charm, and daring. Their marriage shocks society but brings Scarlett luxury. Rhett buys a fine mansion in Atlanta, filled with beauty. Scarlett enjoys rich dresses, jewels, and grand parties. She gives birth to a daughter, Bonnie Blue Butler. Rhett adores Bonnie, pouring all his love on the child. But Scarlett feels little warmth, still longing for Ashley. Their marriage begins to crack beneath hidden wounds. Rhett wants Scarlett's heart, but she gives it only to Ashley. She keeps chasing her dream of love that never was real. Rhett grows bitter, drinking and staying away for days. Scarlett becomes colder, clinging to wealth, not affection. They fight often, wounding each other with sharp words. The mansion, though grand, feels empty of happiness. One night, Bonnie rides her pony recklessly in the yard. She falls and breaks her neck, dying at a young age. Rhett is destroyed by grief and refuses to let her go. Scarlett begs him to give up the child's body for burial. But Rhett holds Bonnie's body for days, lost in sorrow. This tragedy creates an unhealed crack in their bond. Melanie, still Scarlett's loyal friend, comforts Rhett. Her gentle strength helps him finally say goodbye to Bonnie. But soon after, Melanie grows very ill and dies. Her death leaves Ashley broken and Scarlett in shock. At last, Scarlett realizes she never loved Ashley truly. It was only a dream she clung to since her youth. Scarlett hurries home to tell Rhett she finally loves him. But Rhett, tired and bitter, has no heart left to give. He packs his things, saying he is leaving her forever. Scarlett pleads, crying that she needs him desperately. Rhett looks at her with weary eyes and broken hope. He says goodbye, leaving her in the silent house. Scarlett falls to the floor, sobbing in despair and regret. She remembers Terra, the land that always gave her strength. She tells herself she will think of a way tomorrow. Her spirit is still fierce, refusing to accept defeat. Though Red has gone, she clings to hope for the future. The story ends with Scarlett dreaming of tomorrow's chance.